Hey, it's Dave Brown here, host of Now with Dave Brown on AMI. Check out this latest highlight from the show. Tax season is here, and there are lots of reasons why you should be doing your taxes. Paul Murphy is the Senior Communications Advisor for Public Affairs at the Canada Revenue Agency's Ontario region. Paul is in studio alongside me today to kick off a two-part discussion on getting yourself prepared for the season. Hey, Paul, welcome. Thank you for making the time today. I'm grateful.
Yeah, thanks for having me on, Dave. It's great to be here.
So, why is it worth it to do your taxes annually?
I mean, great question. Off the top of your show, I was listening to you talking a lot about the cost of living. That's a major concern for a lot of Canadians. And it's important to do your taxes because we know that every dollar counts. If you don't owe taxes, you should still be filing a tax return because there's a whole host of federal and provincial benefits that are tied to the filing of the return. And I can go into a little detail about what some of those benefits are. Starting out with the quarterly GST HST credit that's available to Canadians of modest income, 19 or older. There's the Canada Child Benefit. If you're a primary caregiver for a child under the age of 18, you can get a monthly benefit and you need to file a tax return. If you're married or living common law, both partners need to file their tax returns, so that's important. And then there's a number of federal and provincial benefits in addition to those ones that I mentioned. There's the Canada Carbon Rebate, which is paid out quarterly to residents of 8 provinces across Canada, and you have to file a tax return to get that benefit.
I think you laid the case out pretty well there. I like that one. What about preparation? You heard that a little bit in the first segment as well. How should Canadians be preparing themselves as tax season is underway?
Yeah, I mean, right now, all of the slips, except for T3 slips, which get issued after the end of March, but all the other information slips, if you're earning any kind of income, they should be in your mailbox by now. So you'll get your T4 slip, your social assistance, or Canada Pension Plan, or Old Age Security. They all should be in your possession at this point. If you don't have them, you can go online through our My Account service and you can download copies because we get a copy, the CRA gets a copy, and it's uploaded to your account, and then you can make a copy of it yourself, or you can call our individual inquiries line and they can mail out slips if you haven't received them. But bottom line is you should have all of your slips together at this point. If you don't have a slip, you should still file on time by April the 30th, which is the filing deadline. You can estimate the amount of income that you've received if you don't have the slip handy, but really you should get all your slips together, all of your receipts, medical receipts, charitable donation receipts, all of that good stuff. Make sure you have it all in one place and then you're ready to go.
Yeah, my envelope is getting nice and thick for when mom swings through in a couple of weeks. What about tax clinics, maybe offering people a little bit of assistance? Because there are tax clinics available across the country. What are they putting on offer?
That's right. There's a partnership that the Canada Revenue Agency has with community organizations across Canada through what we call the Community Volunteer Income Tax Program. And you can look at information on our website to see where these clinics are. Canada.ca/taxes-help. You can go online and see where these clinics are. And they're, like I said, they're across Canada, they're in every community, and they offer free tax help to people who need it.
I've given accountant mom a couple shout outs here a couple times on the show today. She used to do that as community service back in the day, and she absolutely loved doing it. She really enjoyed it. Who is eligible for these clinics?
Right, there's 2 basic criteria for using the clinic. You have to have a modest income and a simple tax return. Now, by modest income, there are some parameters on the website that explain what that is. But typically it's about $35,000 for a single person, and then the threshold goes up for, depending on the size of your family. But you can always check with the volunteer organization to see what their parameters are, because some organizations have different criteria and may be able to help you. So that's the first criteria. The second criteria is a simple tax return. So as I mentioned, your slips, your information slips, T4 slip, social assistance, Canada Pension Plan, that sort of type of income, it qualifies you for a simple tax return. More complex returns that the volunteer clinics aren't able to help with are situations where you have self-employment income from the gig economy, the platform economy, typically categorized as self-employment, freelance work. So they won't be able to help you with those returns. If you have rental income, capital gains, investment income, that's more complicated. And then the more complicated categories like final returns for deceased individuals or bankruptcy returns, they won't be able to help you with those. But if you've just got the basic scenario of having slips or no income whatsoever, they'll be able to help you.
Who makes up the volunteer corps or the folks who are at the clinics?
They're people in the community. They're not necessarily tax professionals. They're people who sincerely want to help out, and they go forward and they get the training. They have the access to the systems to be able to file returns, typically electronically. And it's also worth pointing out about the clinics is that not all of them are in person. Depending on your situation, they may be able to accommodate you through pickup or drop-off services, through virtual, through Zoom or the telephone. There's various options available through these clinics. And also, I want to point out as well on the website where there's a list of clinics. They have where they are, but also what languages they offer services in. They're being in Canada, multicultural society with you may not speak French or English. There are a lot of clinics that will offer you service in languages other than the official languages. And they also list the clientele that they serve. And that's important because they'll say, newcomers, or they'll say persons with disabilities. They'll identify the exact sort of community that they are targeted towards, that they are oriented towards assisting. So that's a good thing to know. And if you don't have web access, if you're not able to look this up online, you can call our individual inquiries, the 1-800-959-8281 service, and they'll be able to locate a volunteer clinic in your neighborhood.
Share those 2 points of contact again, the website and the phone number.
Okay, so Canada.ca/taxes is our main portal. There's the Canada.ca/every dollar counts, which will bring you towards information about the benefits and credits I was talking about off the top. And then last but not least, Canada.ca/taxes-help, which is where all the free tax clinics are listed. And on top of all that, the telephone number, 1-800-959-8281. We have agents available Monday to Saturday during tax filing season to help you out.
Phone number one more time there, because I know a lot of our audience really likes using the phone.
Sure, it's 1-800-959-8281.
Now, Paul, this is just the first conversation that you and I are going to have. We're going to meet up again in a couple weeks for the second part of this series. But I do want to ask you the daily poll question here on the way out. Okay. At Accessible Media on X, at Accessible Media Inc. on Facebook. I feel like I know the answer, but how do you approach the tax season? File early, procrastinate, or I don't file? I file early. I'm right at the start of the gate. I'm ready to go. But I know, but I work for the tax department, so I have some preparation for that. I kind of figured that was going to be the answer. You wanted to do some role modeling this morning. I like that. Exactly. Yeah. Hey, Paul, thank you for stopping by for part number one of the conversation. I know you and I are going to jump into some real nuts and bolts the next time we get together. All the best to you. Thank you so much to you and your colleagues. Looking forward to our next conversation, and thank you. That's Paul Murphy, Senior Communications Advisor for Public Affairs at the Canada Revenue Agency's Ontario region. He will be returning in a couple of weeks to tell you about some specific CRA benefits and credits. In the meantime, you can visit Canada.ca/every-dollar-counts. Do you want to dive into more conversations like this? Watch Now with Dave Brown weekdays at 9 a.m. Eastern on AMI-TV or download the podcasts wherever you listen. Do you want to dive into more conversations like this? Watch Now with Dave Brown weekdays at 9 a.m. Eastern on AMI-TV or download the podcasts wherever you listen.